So the role of information technology. So accounting systems relying less on manual procedures and more on information technology. So than ever for recording the bookkeeping, asset handling, approval or monitoring, as well as for physical safeguarding the assets. For example, here, retailers such as Target stores or Macy's control inventories by attaching an electronic sensor to merchandises. You have also experienced that if you go to H&M or other brands, they have attached some kind of sensor with their shirts. You may try that, but as soon as you try that and forgot to pay, as soon as you go out or left the shop, the sensor start beeping, right? And the barcode. So here, the barcode speed checkout at retail store, right? So this barcode application in businesses helps in multiple operations. For example, checking out the inventory whether we have it or not, checking out the price, and checking out where is the section where you can have this. So when the sale associate scans the merchandise at the register, the computer records the sales, removes the item from the inventory, and computes the amount of cash to be tendered. So by using barcode as well, these multiple functions can also be controlled. So what are the safeguard controls? Business keep important documents in fireproof vaults. So burglar alarms safeguard the buildings and security cameras safeguard other property. Loss prevention specialists train employees to spot suspicious activity. Employees who can handle cash are in a tempting position. Many businesses purchases fidelity bonds on the cashiers. The bond is an insurance policy that reimburses the companies for any loss due to employee theft. So before issuing a fidelity bond, the insurance company investigates the employee's background. So the mandatory vacations and job rotations also improve internal control. So in banking sector, many of the banks in countries, they mandate the cashier and the branch manager to go for mandatory vacations. So the investigation and history shows that those managers who do not take any vacations, they are more susceptible to involve in fraudulent activity. So this improves the morale by giving employees a broad view of the business. Also, knowing someone else will do your job next month keeps you honest as well, right? So internal control for e-commerce creates its own risk as well. Why? Because hackers may gain access to confidential information such as account numbers and password. So e-commerce pitfalls include stolen credit card numbers, computer viruses and Trojan horses, and phishing expeditions. So thieves fish by creating bogus websites such as uh, AOL for free.com, or for Bank of America they may create that bankamerica.com. So the almost authentic sounding website attracts a lot of visitors, and the thieves obtain account number and password for unsuspecting people. So the thieves then use their data for illicit purposes. So to address these risks posed by e-commerce companies have devised a number of security measures including encryption and firewalls. So limitations of the internal control, unfortunately most internal controls can be overcome. So why internal control can be circumvented? Number one is collision, which is two or more people working together and they can beat the internal controls. For example, you're working in the same department with this, for example, attendance control system, and your colleagues, because you have a good term with him, your colleagues come late and you just mark his attendance on the right time and say that okay, even if he is not present, you mark his present, right? So ways to circumvent a good system of internal control include management overrides, human limitations such as fatigues and negligence, and a gradual deterioration over time due to neglect. Because of the cost and benefit, it would be uh, uh, for example, if the cost overweights the benefits, the internal control systems start weakening. So internal controls are not generally designed to detect these types of breakdowns. The best company can do in this regard is to exercise care in hiring honest persons who have no conflict of interest in existing employees, and to exercise constant diligence in monitoring the system to assure it continues to work properly. So the stricter the internal control system, the more it costs. So an overly complex system of internal control can strangle the business with red tape. How tight should the control be? Internal controls must be judged in the light of cost and benefits. So example of good cost and benefit relationship, for example, a part-time security guard at a Walmart store cost about $28,000 a year. On average, each part-time guard prevents about $50,000 of theft. So the net saving of the Walmart is 22,000, right? He can save 50,000 theft. You are paying him 28,000. So net benefit you are getting 22,000. Okay, we have successfully answered our most qualitative part of the internal control, and let's talk about the cash. Design and use a bank reconciliation statement. So the documents used to control a bank account, number one is signature card. So banks require each person authorized to sign on an account to provide a signature card. This protects against forgery. So number second is deposit tickets. So banks supply standard form as a deposit tickets. The customer fills in the amount of each deposit. As proof of transaction, the customer keeps a deposit receipt. Number third is check. To pay cash, the depositor can write a check which tells the banks to pay the designated party a specified amount. There are three parties to check. Number one, the maker who signs the check, the payee to whom check is paid, the bank on which the cash is drawn, right? So this is exhibit like 4.5 shows a check drawn by Mid-Atlantic Manufacturing Company, the maker, right? The check has two parts, the check itself and the remittance advice below, right? And what are the okay, so this optional attachment, which may often be scanned electronically, tells the payee the reason for the payment. You pay him for office supplies and is used as a source document for posting the proper accounts, right? And here you can see that serial number is here, marker, or sorry, maker of authorized signature. It tells you the date as well, right? So you can check the parties as well. So let me just remove here. See, the maker is Mid-Atlantic, the pay is California Office Products, and the bank is Bay Area National Bank, right? So these are the three parties to check. So number 4, the document to control the bank account is bank statement. The bank sends monthly statement to customer. So bank statement reports what a bank did with the customer's cash. The statement shows the account's beginning and ending balances, cash receipts and cash payments. So included with the statement is a list or visual images of the maker's cancelled check as well, right? The last okay, so this 4.6 shows the bank statement in which the bank has shipped this statement to its customer. Customer is Mid-Atlantic Manufacturing Company. So electronic fund transfer moves cash by electronic communication. We call this ETF. It is cheaper to pay without having a mail. So many businesses and individuals pay their mortgages, rent, utilities, and insurance by electronic fund transfer, which is EFT. So the bank statement shows all the information regarding who deposits and what are the service charges and how many checks you issued or received, just like that. So the last document used to control the bank account, which we discuss thoroughly in our coming slides, is the bank reconciliation. The books and the bank statement usually show different cash balance. So we're gonna reconcile it to see that whether there is a fraud or not. So difference between company's cash record and bank balance, which means that what is showing in the cash account of a company and what is actually in the bank account of a company. We reconcile it just through bank reconciliation statement.